So they cast someone as Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot, who was I think she's Israeli, and she won a beauty pageant like 10 years ago. You have any thoughts on this? So obviously this wants to be like they're sort of like try to introduce all the DC characters.
Yeah, I have some fucking thoughts on this. I think Zack Snyder's a piece of shit, and I think the idea of him getting his hands on Wonder Woman is atrocious.
Literally, just getting on.
There's no way that Zack Snyder can possibly do a believable, strong female character. He's a sack of crap. I mean, Sucker Punch was bullshit. And
why was Sucker Punch bullshit?
Because it's exploitive. It's just he can't possibly do a character like Wonder Woman justice. I loathe how that's going to turn out. And from day one when we did our first episode, I went off on Zack Snyder, and
when Affleck was cast as Batman.
Yeah, and I don't think he's a good director, and I thought his Superman story was miserable, but he's not good at giving characters anything. He's particularly bad at female characters, and the Superman Batman thing, fine, whatever. I was over it, but it's going to be really unfortunate to see how that all pans out. Not to mention, it's just you're going straight from a Superman flick to a flick that is Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman. None of those should be bit characters. Those are all strong leads, and the movie's just going to be 2.5 hours of fucking nonsense.
They're gonna add in like Green Lantern 2 or someone else. They have to. I mean, what's the point of adding in Wonder Woman if you're not going to add another person, even for like a 2 scene? You know what I mean? Like, it reminds me of remember the Awesome Grayson trailer 5-minute movie that came out like 9 years ago? You ever see that on YouTube?
No.
Basically, it's like it was really cool. A guy did it by himself. And he even cast Diamond Dallas Page's wife as Catwoman in it. And like it starts off where like it's an Elseworld tale. Guy made it himself. Where like look it up on YouTube if you haven't seen it, people. Batman gets killed. Dick Grayson comes out of retirement as Robin. He's married to a Batgirl. Then when he comes out, Joker comes out of the woodwork. Penguin comes back. Then all of a sudden, near the last minute of this 5-minute trailer, which is really cool. Again, it was made in probably like a few $1,000s. Superman shows up, and of course it's bad Superman. Then Green Lantern shows up out of the blue. Then Wonder Woman shows up, and you're like, what the hell is going on? And that sounds like that's what this movie's going to be like. They're going to try to cram everyone in to try to do a Justice League movie in like 4 years. And unlike Marvel, we've gone over this before, Marvel took 4 full years of movies, 6 years of development in order to get to a huge Avengers movie painstakingly to get there.
Right.
Warner Brothers, for some reason, who have all the character rights, there shouldn't be an issue. They can't do it. They've been trying to do a Wonder Woman movie for like 9 years. They've been. I remember seeing it. They tried to do the pilot, the TV show, a few years ago, and they shot the pilot. It never got put on TV. They did the Green Lantern movie, which was literally a mediocre movie, 5 out of 10. Like it was literally not good or bad. It was nothing. I don't think they're going to do another one.
Literally, it doesn't exist.
Literally, like it doesn't have to exist.
It's just in thin air. It's gone.
That's
how
the movie is, though. Have you heard anyone talk about Green Lantern the movie in the past? No one talks about it because it's like it shouldn't even exist. Because that's how like run of the mill it was. They try to emulate like all the Marvel movies in their structure and in the tone, and just Ryan Reynolds did a great job for what was written, but it was a nothing movie. So that was a failure. So it's like they don't know where to go. They're supposed to do the what's his name? George Miller was supposed to do a Justice League movie like 6 years ago. That was supposed to be the big huge thing. That never happened. They were in pre-development with that, and so it's like, what the hell is going on over there? Like, what is it?
I think to a degree it's where Marvel movies were at in like the night. I mean, no one knows how to handle these characters, and they need a strong team behind them to really do what Marvel's done with their movies. But Zack Snyder's not the way of the future, folks, and him handling Wonder Woman just kind of makes me queasy and sick inside, and I wasn't going to see the movie to begin with, but there's no way I'm going to see it.
I don't think she's going to be a main character like Batman's going to be. I think she'll be like a few scenes. She'll show up for...
Oh, good. She'll be arm candy for someone. Great.
I know.
Fucking fantastic.
No, that doesn't mean that. Maybe like how Hawkeye was in Avengers. He's there a few scenes, and he's there at the end, and maybe they're fighting off Lex Luthor as a team. Maybe it's going to be mini Avengers, the mini JLA movie, where they're going to have like 5 guys. You're going to get like Hawkman in there, and maybe Plastic Man shows up for a second. I don't know.
I would just like to insert a disclaimer. My feelings on Zack Snyder are an opinion. They are not
don't have to be sued. It's just an opinion. You're not stating anything that's fact.
Well, someone will tell me I am.
Fact, he can't do any dramatic directing. I mean,
Oh God, he's awful.
So, but who they cast though? We talked this a little bit. Like I said, she's rail thin. Like she's like probably, I don't know her height, but she looks like if she's 5'9", she weighs 105 pounds at most. Like she is really thin. And I know you can bulk up to a degree. That's a lot of bulking to do. If you don't have a large frame, it's hard to just add muscle, to it. You know what I mean? To get to that. Like Linda Hamilton, she was like not just stacked. She was big. She had a nice frame for Wonder Woman back in the late 70s.
And pretty.
And good looking, yeah.
And then this is once again my issue is I don't think Snyder's really looking for the person who fits the character. He's looking for
pretty face.
A pretty face.
And that's what she is. She looks. I mean, she's cute.
Yep, she's pretty, but she's not Wonder Woman.
This picture, she doesn't have to wear a bra, so that Wonder Woman fans will like that. I hate to say it, Wonder Woman doesn't usually have big bazoomas, but she does. She usually
not
does.
Always.
Well, going back to the 40s, she did.
Yeah, going back to the 40s.
What's wrong with that? I don't understand. So you're not going to see it? I'll see it. I think it's going to be weird just because...
Really?
It's 2015, so that's 3 years after the last huge Batman movie. So you not only to juggle people now saying... Because there's going to be a lot of people going into it being like, why is that not Christian Bale? You're going to have a certain portion of people that don't follow movie news that are going to literally be like, wow, that's a different Batman. So they're going to deal with that. At the same time, you're throwing Wonder Woman into the mix. And so while... At least in the Batman trilogy, they try to create this realistic sort of world where Wonder Woman could exist, and obviously now they're doing it where they can. So I think it's going to be a hard time switching it in people's minds. Okay, that's one DC universe, now here's the other. Or Marvel always said, this is one universe besides the X-Men and Spider-Man movies because we don't have the rights to those and never will again because Spider-Man makes a lot of money. So that's all we have to say about that.